We're going to watch Mia's butterfly here, and we're going to watch it one time at full speed. Along with the email, you'll get some notes from Lynette that will have just some things that Mia can read, as well as being able to watch the video. We see a number of good things with her butterfly, and then we see also a number of things that we really want to work on. The one thing that we see that she's doing really well for certain is she's got those 2 kicks for each pull, and we absolutely love that. Want to make sure that we always are seeing 2 kicks every single time we do the pull. And as you can tell, and we're going to slow it up here, you can tell as her hands are entering, she does a 1 kick there, then her hands are kicking, she does her finishing, she does her 2nd kick there, and we like that a lot. Now, a couple things that we're going to focus on as we go through the butterfly here. As her hands enter, we can kind of see that she's a little bit more parallel, going, or not parallel to the bottom of the pool, she's going up. We'd like to see her a little more parallel so that her body's staying more right in line with the top of the pool. Okay, so we don't want to be quite so much up and down. And as you can see, as she comes in here, she throws her hands way deep. And so now we've got a nice, almost an inverted V going on, where we want to have that body position a lot more straight. Okay, so work on not throwing her hands down quite so deep, and then as you can see, they start to have to come right back up. So when you enter, you actually want your hands to stay right where they are right now. That is where your hands should be when you first enter, and then they should stay there. But you can see that she starts that catch really good, but her eyes are looking forward. You want that head still looking down while she's doing her butterfly. As she lifts her head up to breathe, you can start to see the big curvature here in her back. Okay, so you go from here all the way up here. When you're breathing, you really want to just lift that chin out of the water. So your shoulders are a little bit near that surface, you're lifting your chin up, but your back should still be right on top of the surface, right near the surface. So your back, while it's down here, your back should be right up here with your head. Okay, right up there with your shoulders. And we can see as we go through here, her whole shoulders and almost up to the bottom of her rib cage is all the way out of the water. We want to make sure that we're not in this seated position here, where your legs are this position here, and then here we are all the way above the water. Again, you want to be right near the surface of that pool. Okay? The other thing I know Lynette's talking to you about and wants you to work on is making sure we're not breathing every single stroke. Okay, when you breathe every single stroke, you're lifting your head out of the water a lot more often than you have. If you can try to get in a breathing pattern of every other stroke, or even breathe 1 stroke and then 2 strokes without, that's going to get you a lot more strength, that butterfly. It's going to help you be able to keep your hands a little bit higher in that water. You can see how deep your hands go there, and then they're going to have to float back up to come all the way in. Okay, so just work on keeping your hands up a lot higher. Okay, because right here is where your hands should be when they enter. All right, going a little bit more to the turn. All right, the last stroke into your turn, you can see you really dove down a lot deeper. So when you dove down here, as you can tell, you're almost below the middle of that cross, and then you have to come all the way back up. And then once you come all the way back up, you kind of lift your whole upper body out of that water. You want to keep your shoulders low into the water. What we do like is you can see your feet. You've got your feet stacked right one on top of the other, right next to each other. And that's a really good job of getting your feet in that water, or like getting your feet into that wall. But then you start to lower your knees and your feet are pointed down. Okay? So we talk a lot about making sure that our feet are placed in an upward position and our knees are faced in an upward position. And as you can see here, you got your knees down going this way. Okay? And we want our knees going up. So make sure you work on keeping your feet and your knees pointed a little bit more up. All right? As we come off that wall, we lock into a nice tight streamline. You can see right here, you've got your elbows in here, you got your hands stacked on top of the other. That's good. You're starting to push a little bit down. Okay, good job of pushing. Good dolphin kicks, but as you can tell, we did 2 dolphin kicks, and we talk a lot about making sure we do 6 dolphin kicks off of each wall. So here's 1, 2, and then we just stop kicking as we go into our first pull. And as we go into our first pull, we're going to go into a breath right away. Okay, so again, you want to make sure that first stroke off that turn is not with a breath, because you just took a breath on that wall. And make sure you keep kicking all the way up until your breakout. One thing, too, that's really, really good, and I'm going to point this out here as we get after the first stroke. As you start to do that pull, you can see your hands are pulling through that water really well. You've got your elbows out to the side, so you're keeping your elbows nice and high. You've got your hands right underneath your chest all the way down to your belly. That's really good. And as you get to those hips, you can see that you just kept those hands at the very last second you turned them. Right here, you're pushing water back, and now we just turned. So make sure you keep those palms up all the way through, because that was a really great job underwater all the way up until that very last split second. Make sure you keep those palms up, okay? Good job. Again, though, there's those two kicks. One kick, two kick, and that's really good. Nice job, Mio.